What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video of the Point After Podcast. Here today breaking down Clemson going on the road to face Wake Forest before they have the ACC Divisional Championship, in my opinion at least, against NC State next week at home in Death Valley. That's a game that I will personally be attending. My co-host Matthew, if you've been around for a while, he will be there with me. But before we get to that, we have to talk about this Wake Forest game. Clemson opens up as a 7-point favorite. I think that's a little too much in my opinion. I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking Wake Forest. They're going, "Oh, Clemson's ranked number 5." Now, Clemson did win last year. I believe it was 48-27. I don't think it's going to be that same situation this year. That's a 3-touchdown game. I'm expecting this one to be a little bit closer for a couple reasons. One, because Clemson's going to be there. So far this season, they've been 50-50, 107 rush, 104 pass. I think they're going to lean more in that run game and try to control the clock and control the ball, as to giving Wake Forest and Sam Hartman more opportunities to score points. When Sam Hartman is played this year, they're averaging 36 pass attempts per game. Sam Hartman is the second best quarterback in the ACC, in my opinion, right now, behind Devin Leary. I just don't think Clemson's going to want to give him multiple instances to be on the field. Pulling up their defensive stats for both teams here, you can see, both teams are pretty even when it comes to points per game. They're fairly even when it comes to yards per game, and they're dead on the money even when it comes to yards per game allowed. You break down that third down defense, Clemson's allowing a success rate on 34%. Wake Forest is only allowing their opponents to convert on 20% of their third downs. Now, again, I'll leave this on the screen for just a minute as I pull up my notes. The difference maker to me is, if you're Clemson, you're going to have to rely on that D lineman. You have 5 guys in your front 7 who's part of the top 25 draft-eligible ACC players. 3 of those guys are on the D line. Trenton Simpson, the linebacker, who is probably one of the better ones in the ACC. I think he is probably the best in the ACC. Him along with those other guys are going to have to control this game. You're going to have to get pressure on Sam Hartman. You're not going to be able to get back and let him throw it to A.T. Perry, who's already got 12 receptions and 222 yards on the season. You're going to have to get pressure on Sam Hartman, like I just said. Sam Hartman can dot you up. We saw that in his last 2 games. He's played 2 games. He's got 625 yards and 7 touchdowns. He threw 2 picks. We won't count those. He's probably still getting in the rhythm. It's still early. He couldn't practice for a while. He had that undisclosed medical injury, but he's back now and he's ready to rock. What it comes down to, in my opinion, this game, I think Clemson wins. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. But if you're Clemson and you cannot go on the road to Wake Forest with DJ at the helm, at the quarterback position, it may be time you start looking at throwing Cade Klubnik in there, especially in the second half. You've started slow twice this year already. You had 13 points in the first half against La Tech. You had 14 points in the first half against Georgia Tech. You can't start slow against Wake Forest. If you let them hang around, they could end up beating you. DJ has to play one of the best passing games he's had, because if you're Clemson, you can't be one-dimensional. You can't let Wake Forest just tee off on you in the run game, and then, because I haven't seen enough from DJ to think he can beat Wake Forest with his arm. I don't think he can. Will Shipley's got 2 touchdowns per game already this year on the ground. He's scored 6 in 3 games. He's rushed for 249 yards. Now DJ's thrown for 200 yards per game, average 220. But I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with DJ's passing ability. He hasn't looked much better or much different than he has last year when Clemson went, I believe it was 10-3, counting the bowl game. So, in my opinion, if you're Clemson, if you want to win this game, you're going to have to control the line of scrimmage. You're going to have to get a lot of pressure on Sam Hartman, and you're going to have to convert offensively. You're going to have to put up maybe low 30s to upper 40 or lower 40s to win this football game, and you can't let Wake Forest start passing the ball all over you. Again, the front 7 is going to be the difference maker for Clemson in this. I think Clemson wins it. I think it's close. I would not be surprised at all if Wake Forest wins it, but my gut's telling me right now that this is a game that Clemson wins for, I said in the preseason that I think NC State and Clemson are going to be basically whoever wins that game. They're going to have a game and a half lead on the other one because of the head-to-head stuff. But I think both teams go into that one 5-0 or 4-0, whatever, however their buys work out. I've got Clemson winning that game for that reason, or that's one reason. I still believe that. I think that's kind of the collision course that both teams are on. Now, I don't think Wake's going to be a pushover. Clemson may cover. I don't see them covering easily, especially in the first half. I don't know what that first half money line is or the first half spread, but I may lean Wake on that. Come back later this week for more official predictions, but I will say here I believe Clemson wins this football game. They are minus 320. When it comes to the spread, minus 278 as it stands currently about midnight on Monday morning. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think and how you guys see this game playing out. I'm rolling with the Tigers. I like the Demon Deacons, but we're going to go with Clemson. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscription button. We are closing in on 200 subs, and you're just going to be another man that helps us get there. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later with more game preview videos.